Welcome to episode 31 of Star Wars Culture Live, a fairly new podcast focusing on Star Wars excitement and connection, your escape pod for hyperspace buzz and fandom fixes. As always, I am Ian, this is Marty, and this is where the fun begins. Instead of the negativity you often find on the Star Wars side of the internet, we want to talk about the things we love about Star Wars, how it enriches our lives, the community, culture, fans, media, anything at all. So, as always, if you have anything for us, reactions, questions, requests, suggestions for future segments, anything at all, throw them in the comments and we will see what we can do. And don't forget to check us out on all the socials at SW Culture Live. That's pretty much everywhere except for Facebook. If you're seeing us on Facebook, you already know what the deal is there. Today is mostly just going to be about the news. We had May the 4th this weekend, so that was exciting. Tales of the Underworld came out, also exciting. We'll talk about that a little bit. We'll go over the rest of the news, and then we'll get straight into Andor Season 2, Episodes 7 through 9. So, later in this podcast, just a heads up. Yeah, just a heads up. There will be spoilers later in this podcast. So, just so you know, don't want to ruin anything for anybody. So, once we get to that part, the spoiler part, we will play that again and pause this, and then after you see all of Andor, come back and hang out with us, and we'll then talk about it. I hope you've enjoyed the last couple episodes where we've talked about episodes 1 through 6. But for now, let's do the host facts. We're gonna, as always, we're gonna start with quick fun facts about each host to help you get to know us a little bit better each episode. So, fun fact, Marty, go.
All right, hopefully I don't crap out or anything in the middle of this. My computer's being a little weird.
Yeah, he kept freezing. He kept freezing. So if he stops moving, I will do. We'll figure it out.
I'll do a song and dance while I'm me. But I got two facts here. One of them is I played that game that I mentioned last week. It's got a little bit of work that needs fixing. The mechanics on how to understand some of it doesn't quite add up. So I played some house rules. It is fun if you just want to, take it, just grab and go. All you need is that booklet, graph paper, maybe a little bit of scratch paper for notes, and 2d6 dice. You're good to go.
What game was it again?
It's a fan-made game called 4 Against the Empire.
Right.
It's a little booklet. Oh, I don't have it with me. Yeah. So I played that. I would recommend it for first timers, for RPGs, or if you're just bored and take it with you wherever you go. And the other thing is I had this epiphany to start up my Yoda impersonation TikTok account again.
Oh, good. You are back.
Yeah,
so what's your name on TikTok? Is it Marty21794?
Yep, it's exactly as it is down here, right here.
Good.
So if you haven't seen it before, I got 4 up now, I believe 4 or 5 up.
Nice.
That I've made a while back. I got 3 in the pipeline right now. We'll have to do some re-recording because I didn't have my little lava mic on, so it sounds a little echoey.
Yeah, that happens. This mic, even this mic is problematic sometimes, unpredictable. I just have to the settings change themselves in the computer, so I have to go fix it. It's annoying. Nice. All right, yeah, go check out Marty at Marty21794 on TikTok for some Yoda impressions. My fun fact is a combination of a couple, but I did over the last 2 weeks I've done 3 501st Legion troops in my full Mando, and doing full Mando in the warm spring is very different than doing full Mando in the winter. In the winter, it's cold and you get nice cold breezes up into the helmet. In the spring, it's hot and sunny and you do not. So it's that flight suit is pretty sweaty right now. Today I woke up early and then I had to wake up early for some work stuff, and then went straight from work to the troop, and then got back from the troop like I don't know, like a little a little under an hour ago. So if I completely forget what I'm talking about, that's why, because today was crazy. So that's my fun fact. But today's 501st Legion troop was at the Children's Hospital in DC. So that was pretty cool. Long drive, but pretty cool. That was my fun fact. So let's move on to the news. Some very random combinations of news today. I'm starting with one that I just heard and I'm excited about. Rocket League has announced its own Star Wars event that will begin tomorrow, which is what they posted 6 days ago. So it's live. I need to go check that out. I play Rocket League, and I'm excited for those things. I hope there's some stuff that you can unlock without buying it, but I got the Rocket Pass, so we'll see. Tony Gilroy talked to Entertainment Weekly about why Bail Organa is played by Benjamin Bratt instead of Jimmy Smits, and it was a scheduling issue. They tried really hard, but he was not available for the filming, and they just put Benjamin Bratt in there. He did great. Took me a second, like I was not paying well enough attention to catch who he was right away. I don't know if I glanced away from the TV or what, but new image of there we go, Bail Organa. Diego Luna revealed his favorite episodes of Andor season 2 to Rotten Tomatoes. Episode 1, the starter episode, cool. And then episode 8, which we just saw this week, and we will talk about in a little bit, which, yep, definitely one of the most exciting. And then episode 12, which we have not seen. So that's the last one, right? The season, I guess, series finale of Andor.
Series finale. Yeah.
That is one of his favorite episodes. So I'm ready. That'll be pretty epic. Sam Witwer tells Gaming Bible that he wants another The Force Unleashed game with Hayden Christensen involved. That would be pretty fun. A remake or any kind of continuation. He says, I'd shave my head in a second. Yeah, you would. I know you would. We don't deserve Sam Witwer.
No.
We should have killed Krennic while we were up there, Luthen. There's a gameplay trailer for... Looks like my browser has lost connection to my camera, so I will fix that in a second. Maybe. Or... not. All right. Well, I'm just going to do this blind. So there's a gameplay trailer for Fortnite. It's pretty fun. I've been playing that. The thing I'll say about the vehicles in Fortnite is that they are not great. Like they're just too... I get that they have to weaken them to make them not too strong, like not overpowered against people not in vehicles, but they're just way too easy to destroy. Like it's not worth getting in them. Saw Gerrera huffing the mask. Yep. Disney's Hits and Heroes nonstop playlist has been replaced by In a Galaxy Far, Far Away Star Wars streaming channel in accordance with May the 4th on Disney Plus. There's a nonstop playlist. I don't know if it's still going because this was posted 4 days ago, but they did a thing that I didn't know existed till this moment. Some shots from Andor. Hot Toys released a new Jar Jar Binks with his tongue sticking out. Pretty goofy. Star Wars The Last Order by Kwame Mbalia, a new young adult novel focused on Finn and Jaina after the events of The Rise of Skywalker, is set for release on October 2nd. Skeleton Crew is going to air on Disney Channel every Sunday at 7. Some beautiful imagery on the Tales. They've had Tales of the Empire, Tales of the Jedi, and now Tales of the Underworld, which we will get to talk about in a sec. Tales of the Underworld streaming on Disney. Why don't we budget a little bit of time before the Andor discussion to just talk about Tales of the Underworld a little bit, but we'll do a deep in discussion after next season, or after next week's Andor episodes. We'll do that episode of the podcast, and then after that, the next week we'll dive into Tales of the Underworld. Star Wars Day artwork featured on Disney. May the 4th be with you. This was our high holiday weekend opening scene of Tales of the Underworld. Again, we'll get there later. What are everyone's first impressions? This was something. Which 3 are you picking? You can only keep 3 Star Wars stories. I initially just scrolled past this because I hate these for Star Wars because it hurts so much to lose these things. So I just don't like thinking about it. So I don't do it. But I'm going to have you talk about this while I sort out my camera issue.
Okay, so like Ian, this is kind of hard, and it kind of hurts my heart a little bit with this because how can you get rid of some of these things and keep only 3? But hey, you're back.
Yeah, all I had to do was click start cam. I don't understand why it stopped.
Weird. But I would say if I had to only keep 3 Star Wars series, mine would be literally like the person in the comments, AJ Dorsey Films has, which is the Clone Wars, Rebels, and Andor. Just because, especially with Clone Wars and Rebels, I definitely get my rewatching worth out of it. Like I could, I've rewatched both series multiple times, and I'm talking about the Clone Wars, not Star Wars Clone Wars, the micro series I see right there.
Right.
But Andor, I've grown kind of appreciative of the series to where I would probably watch it again just to appreciate it a little bit more. And I want to go, and since I'll talk a little bit more about it later on in our main discussion about what I think about Andor as a whole and what the show has done. I feel like no one has taken the approach of doing for Star Wars. And listen, it was hard between Andor and Mandalorian because Mandalorian was a good show.
Yeah, both of them made mine. So yeah, no, I get it. Okay, so you said the Clone Wars, Andor, and Rebels. Okay.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I had to cut Rebels. I'm switching out. I am picking very similar to you, but I'm switching out Rebels for Mandalorian. Mandalorian's my favorite character. That is my favorite show. So I need that in there, and then kind of the same way you were talking. Andor is just, I would say, the highest quality series. Is I think Mandalorian is my favorite, but I think Andor is the best. So I have to have Andor in there. This is assuming that we still get all the movies because I would need to watch Rogue One.
Right.
So Mandalorian, obviously, Andor, and then I was actually debating between Clone Wars and Bad Batch because my wife and I really like Bad Batch. It's like they perfected what they were going for in Clone Wars, and it's just a really awesome show. Rebels is good too, but I think the Clone Wars, there's just first of all, there's so much more material. Like it'll take you much longer to get tired of all the material in Clone Wars, and there's just such a wide variety of characters and stories in there. Like you got the stuff happening on Coruscant with senators and other things there. You got the various groups of clones that you follow. You got the Jedi, and you got Dooku and Ventress, and you've got the whole Maul and Savage plot and all this stuff. There's just so much there. It's hard to keep that excluded.
Yeah, and they also play off of classic B movies. So like when you have the your classic monster movie, you got
the Zillow Beast.
what is it? The Zillow Beast. Yeah, it's like your classic B movie. Ramping through the streets of the big city. And then you got your mysteries, you got your westerns with Cad Bane. So it all deeps into different genres.
Yep, like all the cool characters that are in these other shows, a lot of them are in Clone Wars. So
yeah,
you're not missing out on too many. Yeah, I thought it was funny. I reject this reality and substitute my own. Yeah, there's this hurts to only keep 3. It's funny, you matched up with this guy, Clone Wars Rebels Andor, and I matched up with this guy, Clone Wars Mandalorian Andor. And this guy was a combination of us. Anyway,
it was
fun exercise, but not a happy reality if you have to pick between those. Director Jake Schreier, who helmed Marvel Studios' Thunderbolts, also directed the 5th episode of Skeleton Crew. You have a lot to learn about pirates. Didn't know that. Behind the scenes on Andor season 2, to Dakar and back again. Dakar is the planet. In Andor, it's where Saw Gerrera is hiding out, and then in The Force Awakens and The Last Jedi, that's where the Resistance base is. So that's a cool little tidbit there. I feel like I did remember that. Oh yeah, because they show the word Dakar on the screen, and I remember that there's a space mission in Dakar on Star Wars Battlefront.
Which makes me wonder if they'll use what's that base on Last Jedi? Now it's escaping me.
Crate.
Yeah, I wonder if they're going to use that in Andor or something, just to say, "Hey, look, we've used this as a rebel base back in the day."
Yeah, it's here. Like they definitely alluded to the fact that it's been there and used before. So, yeah, agreed. This is exciting. On Disney Plus, the POV videos for Star Wars Rise of the Resistance and Star Wars Galaxy's Edge have been added. So that's pretty awesome.
I'll be watching
my kids those. Yep, I will also be watching those. Got to show the kids because I've been on those things, but what did I do? Where'd they go? Right up here. Yeah, I will be showing the kids those because I've been to Galaxy's Edge and ridden the Rise of the Resistance, but the kids haven't. So, official poster for Empire Strikes Back from Shoe Palace. That's pretty cool. Massage. Melody Hobson and George Lucas at the Met Gala. Look at them, all blinged out. And yeah, that. Not gonna. I just can't. I'm too tired. This was a nice little speech. Here, I'll throw the little spoiler thing up. Yeah, but this is his speech about what's it called? The drug Rido. Sister Rido.
Yeah.
Very interesting scene. We're learning a lot about who he is. And then latest Andor episode. So that concludes the news segment. A lot of fun updates there. For now, let's move on to On This Day in Star Wars History. What you got, Marty?
Woohoo! Knocked it out of place here. I got so excited for this. Yes. I have my hand right underneath. Let's see. So today is May 7th, and in 1983, an advanced screening of Return of the Jedi is held for Lucasfilm employees and their families at the Concord Theater in San Francisco.
I am reading Coronet Theater in San Francisco.
The Coronet Theater. Why did I say Concord?
I don't know.
I have no
on the brain.
I'm tired.
Dude, yes.
Coronet
This is the tired episode. Advanced screening of Return of the Jedi. That's cool. Lucasfilm employees and their families. I was watching this documentary on Frozen 2 because my toddler has us watch Frozen 2, I don't know, over 100 times by now. probably. But so my wife and I decided to watch the documentary of how they made it, like the behind the scenes. It's like a series. It's pretty cool. They're talking about the processes and stuff, and they showed everyone's the advanced screening for all the cast and the animators who worked on it, like everyone involved in the production. They got a whole theater of them and their families, and they got to see an advanced screening of it. And it's awesome because no one gets to see any big picture except like a few people until the very end. They're just like animating this one little shot, and then they get another little shot to animate, and they don't know, like they maybe know the overall plot, but they don't get to see it in context. So seeing, especially since by 1983 the Star Wars hype had been, nice and strong by then, I'm sure this was very, very cool.
Oh yeah, I'd still love to be a Lucas employee, no matter what decade you're in.
Yeah, I would. That's on my list of places to time travel and go back and just see this the 80s Star Wars hype. Get that.
Oh yeah, definitely.
On to my stupid segment, Dad Joke of the Week. All of the Sith hide in the shadows, shrouded in mystery. Unless you count Dooku. Yeah. Everybody needs to shake their head in pain at that one. That's pretty good. It's pretty great.
Oh, I like that one.
Yeah.
That was good.
All right. Quick, before we get into Andor, what did you think about Tales of the Underworld? Let's say 50 words or less.
50 words or less. Okay. I will say I will actually give this a rewatch because out of the Tales of series so far, this one was probably my favorite. Like it had more heart to it for both stories going on, and each episode had me sitting on the edge of my seat, just like, what's going to happen next? What's going to happen next? Especially the Ventress storyline. Cad Bane's, I knew this was kind of an origin story, so it's like I wanted to see how he becomes the man that he is in the Clone Wars, and I am shocked to learn some of the revelations at the end of what happened.
Yeah. I was shocked that they used the word lawman. They're like, they hint at Western things and then they also just hit them over the head sometimes. And I thought the use of the word lawman was so funny. Yeah, I'm just gonna agree that a rewatch is in order because also I saw I'm one of those people who watched the first 2 episodes early in Fortnite, and I got most of it, but I feel like there are probably some details that I missed. And the kid, the toddlers were around too. It was like a Friday afternoon, so rewatch for those details of those first 2 is definitely in order. And then Cad Bane, I feel like I saw so many little Easter eggs mentioned, like in just people's conversations, and when there's so many of those, I know that there's no way I caught all of them on the first watch. So yeah, I'll probably watch again. All right, Andor. All right, we only spent 23 minutes in the first part of the show, so we got some time. Let's see if we can keep it under an hour. Let's go episodes 7 to 9. So yet again, spoiler warning, we are now going to talk about the last 3 episodes of Andor season 2. These came out last night, so if you haven't seen them, if you didn't see them last night or today sometime, pause this video, watch those, and then come back after you watch the video and hang out with us. All right. You want to go? I like the way we do it, where we talk through different character arcs. So who do you want to start with this time?
Let's start with, I don't know. I feel like all their arcs are starting to kind of come together. Let's do the Cyril Dedra arc, I guess.
Yes. The okay. So yeah. All right. So how does that start here? Because Cyril is kind of disillusioned by what he's finding out about Dedra and what the Empire is really doing on Gorman. And he finds out that Dedra lied to him like this whole time about his role in this and how important what he was doing is. So he's starting to what's it called? Get diddle a little I can't think of the word. I'm too tired. He's starting to identify with the Gormans a little bit. He's a little
I think
off.
Because I think spending time with them as much as he had before apparently they found out who he was, spending that much time with them really has changed his perspective on what the Empire is. Not maybe to the fullest extent just yet, but he's like, I don't know, maybe the Empire shouldn't be here, you know?
Maybe we're not 100% the good guys.
Yeah.
I feel like he had to know before that the Empire was not always the good guys. Like, Dedra embraces it, and they're dating. So, like, I don't know. Why? Yeah, I don't know. It's always his relationship with it has always been weird.
Yeah, I mean, I think with him though, he's I don't want to say OCD, but he's got some kind of like mental thing where it's like it's like everything has to be in order. The Empire's about order, therefore I don't see no wrong. But then when he jumps to be a spy, he's like, my world is kind of, like being torn in half. I don't know what to believe on what actual order is, and is the Empire really about this?
Yeah, especially when the person that he's closest to and someone who's the most like strict about that order has been lying to him for months.
Oh yeah. And then when he finds out, oh man, I thought that was it for her, but then I thought about we haven't seen that scene we saw in the trailers. It's like, so she's fine, but so close, so close. It's like, do it, Cyril, do it.
I know.
Wait a minute.
I know. That was very, and it's weird. It was weird to see Dedra so emotional about a not Empire thing, about like a personal relationship. That was new. Like the whole she's like her hand shaking and she's like she cares about Cyril and that relationship, which is I don't know, it's unexpected for her character to be that amazingly work focused, but then also have that capacity for caring about a relationship like that.
It is.
I didn't see that possible after season 1.
Yeah, and it wasn't just Cyril though. It was like she was like, I don't want these gore people to be slaughtered.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I just want a little bit of chaos just to put our foot down, not let's just kill everybody.
Yeah, he did not see that coming.
And
everyone else did.
Dedra saw it coming. She didn't want it. She was like, no. I really don't. But her boss is like, you have to just keep. All you got to do is say yes. You're not one actually pulling the trigger, but you have to say yes.
Yeah. That, as someone in the military, that conversation made a lot of sense to me. That was the idea of being the hand but not the trigger, or whatever the analogy was like, you're in charge but not really.
So I'm wondering though if this shocks Dedra's world to maybe she might cross over because of the Empire crossing that line. Because she was fiddling with her uniforms, like she's like wanting to take it off, but like I can't do that. The Empire's given me, a life basically, but I hate them. So maybe
I don't know. That would be hell of a flip there.
And it basically kind of like with Vel and Cinta, it's like, well, Cyril wanted us out. Maybe I need to do this for him.
He did want them out, out of the conflict.
Like, I feel like, yeah, because Cyril's like, I don't want this to happen. Like, we need to just go now.
Oh yeah. Okay, I am starting to think that maybe I need to rewatch these two, because some of the detail, I feel like I remember images, but I don't remember the dialogue as well. I need to do a second viewing. But I also didn't catch the. Sorry, go ahead.
It was either that or he was trying to, like, I just don't want the blood spill either. I mean, you've been lying to me. So he's like, I must go tell my old resistant buddies on the other side, hey, don't do this.
Yep. Maybe
the old man starts to figure out it was a trap, but it was too late for the rest of the group.
Yep.
Well,
yeah,
it was too late for him too later on.
But yeah, every death so far that has happened, I did not see coming. Like I predicted some death, especially by the end of the series, by the end of this season. But it definitely wasn't the people that have been dying. Cyril had. Sorry.
Go ahead.
Cyril had Andor dead to rights. I was like, how does he possibly get out of this one? The who are you was, I could see why it's the title of the episode, because the who are you must have just been devastated. This guy, Cyril, is looking at this guy as like, this guy is the one responsible for all of the horrible stuff that's happened to me. In his head, the horrible stuff was like, oh, I had to live with my mom for a while and I had to get a boring job. That was the horrible stuff. Yeah, his reputation got, and he's been hating him for the past 2 years at least. And this guy is looking at him not even knowing who he is. And that must be just infuriating to the core.
Yeah. You saw Cyril's eyes after Andor said it. He's like, are you friggin' kidding me?
Are you kidding me?
Like, really? And then the expected/unexpected happened to him.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't expecting that person to be the one to do it, though.
Who did it again? Remind me.
It was. I had his name because it was going to be a question for the trivia tonight.
Gorman?
But it was the old guy. It was the
old guy. It was Gorman,
the old
boss
guy.
man. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. That's who I thought, but then when I was over, I got in my head. Yeah. So, all right. That, and then Dedra, we have no idea what's going to happen. I don't think she'll be enough to, I don't think that would turn her away. I think she will be different, but she'll go back to her base instincts, which is ruthlessness and more Empire.
I will say, Edie, I was not expecting her to actually feel sorry as much as she berated her son.
Yeah, I almost felt bad. Like, is it weird that I now like feel bad that Edie is our our like laughing stock on this rating thing? Because I was like, oh no, that poor woman.
I do.
All right. So how many Edies do you give the Dedra Cyril plotline?
Okay. We'll do it this way, but then we'll do the overall arc as a thing.
Yeah.
Let's just do this
3-episode grouping.
Yeah. You want to do maybe for the episodes, do 1 out of 5. I don't know. It's kind of hard to tell.
I don't know.
Let's just do episodes. We'll do category 1 through 5, the whole arc 1 through 10.
See, I don't remember what happened in each episode though. I don't remember. Like I remember the arcs of what happened.
I guess I meant to say arcs. So like the Dedra Cyril arc, we'll do 1 through 5
out of 5. Okay.
And then the overall 3 episodes, we'll do 1 through 10. Yeah,
got it.
I'm gonna give this just a solid 4
out of 5. Right.
A 4 out of 5.
Okay.
Like
I think. Sorry. Yeah. Go.
I think it's just because I'm not, happy how it happened. I mean, the whole overall story was good. It's just I didn't like the ending to this little arc because we got 3 episodes left. Where do we go from here?
Without him,
especially with this, not with him. So I'm a little disappointed. I feel like he had a little bit more of development to get through. Like maybe he fully switched to this side, then kill him. Not I'm in, but I'm out, but I'm in, dead. I don't know.
Yeah, I was. Sorry, yeah, go.
But you know what? I'm going to switch it to 4.5 just because it was part of the Gorman massacre and oh my God. Okay.
Yeah, that's an appropriate reaction to that. So it's the second massacre that happened on Gorman at the hands of the Empire. I am going to switch it back to 4, but for the exact same reason. Like I am frustrated by Cyril's ending. I just wanted more to his story. Like he was one of the first characters that they went really deep on his emotional state and his development. And I just wanted it felt a little bit incomplete, but maybe that's what they're going for to like play into the idea of grief. Like, when people die, they're like, oh, they just had so much more to do. And that's kind of what it feels like in my head for Cyril. I was like, his arc was not complete. Like I wanted to see what was going to happen. He's faced with the biggest conflict of his life. But you can't point a weapon at the guy with the most plot armor since the Mandalorian. So, yeah. All right. Who's next?
Let's see.
Let's save Mon Mothma for last.
I guess that'll switch us to Andor and his overall arc. Well, yeah, because we'll include Bix and Will in there.
Yeah,
because they played smaller roles, did not have their own arc.
Yeah.
Same with Vel. She was barely in there.
Yeah. I was wondering if she was going to be out like after Cinta died. I was wondering if she was even going to be back. Like I thought she might have been like, no, F this, I'm out. But then again, Cinta believed in the cause even more than she did. So, I guess even more passionately than she did. So I doubt, like in Cinta's honor, I doubt that she would turn her back on it.
She even mentioned, she was like, I was a little reckless with, this whole rebellion thing, but I've mellowed out. I've gotten better, but I still believe in the cause. It's just I'm gonna go about it a different way.
Mm-hmm. Gonna be on the training side and not on the pew pew side. I highly doubt that she is done with the pew pews.
No, she's not done with the pew pews.
No.
She got a little curious about that one pew pew she saw. She's like, "Whose blaster is this?"
Yeah, was that just to like show us Melshi?
I guess so. At first, I thought it was like, is this supposed to be like a weapon close to what Cinta had, and it just kind of reminded her of it?
Yeah, I wasn't sure what was because they zoomed in on that moment, so I just wasn't sure what was going on there. But I assume it's just to show that Melshi is back in the picture.
But I guess Vel did have a small arc.
Yeah, small one, little mini one. With Bix, my wife and I were really thinking, especially with her drug situation, that some point in this season she was going to unalive herself. We really thought that was going to happen. And when Andor woke up in his cabin or bungalow or whatever it is by himself and she was gone, I was like, he is going to find her, because that would be like just like her note said, like she is the one in the way keeping him from doing what she believes he needs to be doing. And I thought that her solution to that was going to be, like I said, the horrible way. But I guess just leaving that does it too. So I'm glad she did that instead of the other thing. I guess maybe after they did what they did to the doctor, maybe that helped push her away from those ideations, which is good.
I think so too, because she looked naturally better. Like she looked healthier.
Yeah, she looked stronger, less down in her feelings, like less imprisoned by her feelings and past.
Yeah. I was heartbroken for Cass when he got that note and she was gone. Like I knew she wasn't gonna be one with the Force, so to speak. But I like when she said, when she said, "I'm choosing the rebellion," I was like, "What?" Like I get you want Cass, like, why can't he have both in some way? Like try to convince him to do both. Like, here, let me go with you, or do this or that, not just I'm out, or Cass, I'm gonna leave you, join the rebellion. But I guess in this case, it would help in a way. They had to kind of get Bix out of the picture going into Rogue One, but they didn't want to.
I don't know if she's
rid of her.
I don't know if she's actually gone. I think they might. I think someone might find her. Like if Dedra finds out that Andor was there to take her out, and she needs to get Andor or Luthen to stop chasing them or something, maybe she'll find Bix and as a hostage or something. I don't know. And like her plan will backfire. Like Bix's plan will backfire. But yeah, I think Cass wanted to leave because while they were there fighting as part of the rebellion, Bix wasn't safe. Neither of them were, but mostly Bix wasn't. So he wanted to get out for her sake. But if, like in her mind, if her sake was no longer an issue, her safety is no longer an issue, and he knows that she wishes him to keep fighting in the rebellion, then that's probably what he'll do, and he'll go all in on that rather than worrying about her and trying to keep her safe. And she sees it as fulfilling his destiny, and she's in the way, so she's removing herself from the picture, I guess.
Or, I mean, she did talk to that Force healer who had a premonition thrust upon her while touching Cass, about how he's going to be this great thing. He's got to go on this,
a messenger.
Yeah, he's gonna be the messenger. So I guess because Bix asked, like, so what did you see? And what I gathered is the lady saw the events of Rogue One, what he's going to become, what he's going to become. So she's already. So Bix is like, I'm going to let him fulfill his destiny. I hate to do it this way. I know I'm going to break his heart, but in order for this to succeed, I have to do this.
Yep. And she has enough faith in the Force and the
Although
visions.
you didn't just break his heart, Bix, man. You broke my heart.
I know, right? He broke all of our hearts. But I guess it's one sad relationship weighed against like the freedom of the whole galaxy, and Bix is like, yeah, I gotta do this. Plus, after we win, everybody's gonna be fine, and I'll find him later, right? Okay, so Andor's
maybe
arc.
she knew that.
Oh. Yeah,
maybe Bix was told that. That's why she's like, yeah. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut this short. I'm not gonna see you. Bye.
Oh my god, this is awkward, but
right.
All right. So Cassian's arc takes us straight to Mon Mothma's arc. So the propaganda after seeing the battle on Gorman was really infuriating. And
like they covered it really quickly.
Yep. And they spun it really quickly, and they had plotted for it. They were like, they were laying the groundwork with those other reports of Gorman insurgency. It was Dedra's plan. It was like, you need a rebel faction that you can count on to do the wrong thing, so that we can document these and then have a reason to put the hammer down. And then the Mon Mothma's speech, I think, was definitely crafted perfectly for the times we're living in, if that makes sense.
Oh yeah, it does. I think I saw somewhere where it mentioned someone posted like this speech is something that would have been heard now is something that you're hearing in a galaxy far, far away, or something like that. Because this whole season itself is basically a reflection of what's going on now, just in a galaxy far, far away.
Yeah, there are differences and similarities. But
I was not expecting.
Yeah, go.
Sorry, go ahead.
No,
I was just I wasn't expecting like this whole time, like where she was giving the speech. Like it's like for a minute we were supposed to think Bale was supposed to be like sketchy, because the three people that he hired are supposedly corrupted, and was really only the one who was an ISB agent. So it's like, wait, are you trying to tell me Bale flipped? We know he doesn't, but
oh yeah, no. I don't think we were supposed to. I don't think that was supposed to convey Bale being like evil or anything at all, or corrupt. I think it was just supposed to convey the degree to which the ISB has spies in all the good people's offices. Like, there's not a single one. Like, Mon Mothma has a bug in her office, and her driver is ISB or a plant.
yeah.
So same with freaking Bail Organa. Like, he at best, it's like incompetency. Like, he didn't vet his people properly, or
right.
They are just that good at getting under the radar that he had no way of knowing. And by the time they would be able to do anything about it, like the right way without giving themselves away, it would be too late.
Right. I mean, it was only just the woman, I believe, who was ISB. The other two, I guess,
Yeah,
were
yeah,
on
yeah.
a different plot
Yeah, they weren't.
with
Yeah,
her.
they weren't.
Like maybe they were
They
actually
weren't
supposed
bad.
to
I
get
thought
her
they
out.
were. Yeah, they were actually supposed to get her out. They were real. They were good guys. I believe. Like the one guy even tried to stop what was happening.
Yeah.
If you're sus though, like pull a weapon. Don't just have her hand you the thing and then leave your guard down. Like, come on. Like, if what you suspect is true, don't like keep
Yeah.
like, okay, you suspect this thing. If this thing is true, prepare for the worst scenario. Like you get that weapon out of your holster immediately and you get her down on the ground, disarmed, and like
Yeah.
then you can investigate the earpiece that she was talking about. Don't leave yourself vulnerable while you're figuring it out. Come on, man. Security 101.
Security 101, and it's like Spy 101. I feel like the intelligence part of like the spy people aren't doing that well. It's mostly up to the boots on the ground at this point, here on out.
Yeah, it's just too the spy the Luthen's time is getting close to over. It's more the Dodanas of the galaxy.
Yeah. You know the old comics and stuff, Spy versus Spy.
Mm-hmm. Those cartoons
Kind
too.
of yeah. I'm kind of getting those feelings with everybody everything that's going on in this show. It's like it's always a spy versus another spy in some way. They're always trying to get at each other.
Mm-hmm. I was wondering why, like, since Andor started, the show started, I was wondering why Luthen, like in like how they would explain that Luthen was not heard of or not present in Rogue One at all, like at the Rebel gatherings, and he's like they don't like. So I'm starting to sense that like they don't like his methods and he doesn't like their methods, and he's still doing his like undercover darkness web of spies thing, and now that it's getting to also be like a bigger military operation, he's like, this isn't my scene. I'm not, this isn't,
Yeah.
I don't do this. So he doesn't like being at Yavin. They don't want him there. They're doing a different thing. The drill sergeant yelling was an interesting touch. I was like, this seems like I expect him to be like, listen up, maggots.
Yeah, I feel like Luthen though. I feel like you say like everyone they didn't want him on the base, and he didn't want to be there. I feel like it's because you have everyone who has their methods, and you got his. He kind of reminds me of Batman. It's like I'm just here for justice and vengeance. Like I'm gonna do things in the shadows. I don't want to bring it out.
Yeah, I don't want to do. Yeah, I guess he doesn't have an army. I just think they could use his like tactical mind. Like it is coming apart. Like he was complaining to Clea about how he's like can't keep track of all the lies and the threads that they have going out and they almost ruined it at that party in the Skull Dunes artifact. That was close. So maybe he's like, I'm out. This is getting away from what I can handle.
I will say it. Going back to the Senate and watching Mon Mothma's speech, it was kind of fun. It was kind of the whole Senate thing itself was pretty neat. It was like you get to see a different part of the Senate building you haven't seen in the prequels or the Clone Wars, inside and out.
Yeah, the courtyard and the lake or whatever that was, the body of water. That was gorgeous.
Yeah. Because now I'm imagining it like, okay, we see George Lucas's shot of the Senate building. and then you flip it around, you get the side that Tony Gilroy wants you to see.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, that's pretty neat. But the inside of it too, it's like it's like a big lobby for everyone to hang out at, to hang and watch Star Wars or HoloNet C-SPAN.
Yeah. Yeah, like the what's it called? I guess vestibule or foyer or whatever where the reporters are. That was really funny. Andor pretending to be like an escort. Like,
yeah.
She's not answering questions right now. Sorry. It's hilarious.
There's this picture that's on the internet. I think they saved it on also StarWars.com. It was going to be part of our thumbnail, but I changed it. But it was Andor and Mon Mothma in the elevator, and you just see them standing side by side. Mon Mothma's like, "Oh my god, I don't know what's going to happen," and Andor's just like, I just want this done and over with."
Yeah, you could tell. I liked that she, like she's been doing all this very postured deception stuff, right? But she has never ever been near the action before, and
yeah,
it was a completely different situation for her. She normally like has her composure, but because of the just like the different, like her fight or flight was like going off. Like she wanted to run, Andor had to stop her from running. She didn't get her wits until the that one hallway where she's like, okay, forget that, we're going this other way.
Yeah, and then when Andor killed the driver, she was like, "Oh crap! Okay, maybe this guy isn't so, good to hang out with." Andor's like, "No, come on, let's go."
I knew that was probably going to happen, but I was not ready for how quick it happened. Like the speed, like he's an ISB plant, and then 4 seconds later he's dead. Like I did not expect Andor to do that quickly. I expected him to like die or bluff or something about like, hey, we gotta like I thought he would come up with some kind of plan, not just like shoot this guy in the chest. Like,
right?
I don't know what I expected, but I just okay.
I mean, he had a quick plan of like, how do I assess that he doesn't have any weapons on him? Oh, I know. I'm gonna pretend real quick to be an ISB agent myself. He's like, "Look, we got him." Because he was asking Mon what the driver's name was. She's like, "Cloris." He's like, "Cloris, look, we got her." And the guy opens his arms. He's like, "Bam!" What?
Yep.
So quick.
Just a little unexpected there.
He's a quick quick thinker, calculating all these scenarios in the moment
under pressure.
Yeah.
He had that since the beginning, like since he was plotting on Ferrix. Like
That's
he just
true.
I don't know, he's just been around, I guess, because of how he grew up, and I don't know, but it's definitely helpful. That's why Luthen recruited him.
We didn't mention this, but back on Gorman with Cassian going to the hotel. Did you recognize that was the bellboy?
Oh yeah,
who moved?
Yep.
And then you recognize that he recognized him.
Yeah, that blew my mind. Yeah, and then once he said like, "Oh, I didn't log you in," he's just like, "You get it. You get what we're doing. You know what we're doing, and you get what we're doing. Thank you." I almost expected to see him holding the blaster after Cyril was dead.
I know, I did too. But then you notice he said the exact same line that Jyn Erso said. Rebellion is built on hope.
So that's why. Well, Jyn said it because Cassian said it to her.
That's true.
Cassian got it from this guy.
So it's all It's a
It's
poetry.
all
It
back to
rhymes.
this guy. This guy originated it. It's like
I kind of
I forget
squealed a little
I hope
bit.
I see you again or something. I
Yeah.
forget. That's awesome. Yeah, that was great.
Although
There
we'll
were a
never see the
couple of
guy again.
yeah.
Yeah.
Hope he's okay.
I don't
He
think
was
so. He blew himself up, I think.
he did?
Like I think so. I'm gonna say he did because that blast was pretty heavy when he tossed a little makeshift grenade.
Oh, right. The thermal imploder. That's right.
Yeah.
Man. I forgot about that part. See, this is why I need a rewatch. I watch it and I'm intense and I get it. I see it, and then
I,
a day goes
I
by
had
and I forget some of the details.
I watched it all. I watched it today. So like I'm scrambling. I have
It's
my
fresh.
iPad set up on one side. I have
Nice.
I have this notebook in the other, just scribbling notes as it goes.
I should have taken notes. I for Skeleton Crew I took notes of all the Easter eggs, but I didn't, or things that I wanted to talk
It's
about. But for this one I'm not. I'm just sitting there with popcorn like
it's
just
it's also
I
hard
like
because
it
you got
so
3
much.
episodes.
Yeah. And like you don't have time to think. I'm like hanging on every word like whatever. All right. Any last thought? Let's do a full episode ranking. Any last thoughts before the full arc, full 3 episode arc ranking? 10 stars, 10 EDs.
All right. Did I freeze?
Yep.
Hello?
You're still frozen.
Uh-oh.
There you go. You're back.
Hello? Okay. Okay.
Yep. I see you.
I will address this elephant in the room real quick. Before we do this, I felt like I was kind of called out on another show, along with a lot of other people, about the recast of Bail Organa. Let me just tell you something.
Oh.
I got over it. I watched this, and I got over it.
Who called you out? Who called people out?
I'm not gonna say. Let's just say that.
Oh, okay. All right, that's fine.
I don't think it was me in particular, but I felt like it was on a podcast, and it was like, listen, I heard it's like this person was like, I heard someone say, I've heard a lot of people saying about this, something about how a lot of people just can't come to terms with the recast. Yeah, I was a little devastated, but I understand. And then just watching these episodes, I was like, all right, he did a good job. I could see him as Bail Organa going to the future if they can't get Jimmy Smits in. He's fine. I'll get over it.
Yeah, he it feels it makes me feel better knowing that they did try to get Jimmy Smits.
Yeah,
like they tried and just the schedule didn't work out for different projects or whatever, and that does make me feel better that they did do diligence. They made an effort. They couldn't make it happen. Oh well, stuff happens.
they tried, and they got a good actor, so I'm not gonna complain. And with that, I also took it out on my rating last week. I've changed my rating. I gave this last arc a 8.5.
Okay.
It still wasn't a whole 9 like yours was, because I was still expecting a little bit more of the action from
this the 4-6 arc.
The 4-6 arc.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
you switched it.
This was last week's. This was last week's arc. I've changed it from a 7 to 8.5, so it went up a 1.5 points.
Oh, okay.
It didn't go to 9 or anything like that, just because, like I said, I was expecting more action, just a tiny bit more action from the Gorman Resistance with Vel.
Yeah,
or something, just a little bit more to make it juicier.
They built it up and then they diverted it. They diverted the epicness into a different moment. It was weird.
So I recant that. So now our new average for last
Episodes 4
arc,
through 6.
episodes 4 through 6, it is
What,
now a
8.75?
yep,
All
8.75 now.
right. All right. So how about this this past arc, this one that you just saw today? What's your 10-star rating for this? 10 ED rating for this arc?
As much as I had qualmed with the Cyril Dedra arc, I actually gave this whole arc 10 whole EDs.
Perfect 10. Interesting.
Perfect 10.
Wow. There definitely was more action this time around. All right. Well, I'm gonna make it easy. I gave it a 9.5, and I literally am only taking it down a 0.5 to leave room at the top for this last arc, because I don't want to give 2 10s. Like, only one of them can be the best arc. So I feel like they're gonna do this perfect culmination in the last 3 episodes. There's so much that they keep me guessing. They like let me know enough to make me confident about what might happen next, and then they're like, "No, no, this person's gonna die. Like this twist is gonna happen. Like you're gonna see this other side of this character." And I'm like, "All right, you manipulate it. You're playing me like a fiddle."
Yeah.
So yeah, 9.5
So
EDs.
our average now is 9.75
Perfect.
for this arc together.
All right.
Uh,
Any last minute? Let's give a last minute prediction for something that happens in the finale.
okay. Before I just also want to mention
Oh, sorry.
we didn't talk about K2SO being born.
Oh
Uh,
yeah.
in the form of Frankenstein's monster. I felt like the way he was put on that slab and electricity vaulted him up like a monster.
Yep.
But that was funny to me. But prediction.
I also enjoyed how he was sarcastic immediately. Like that is absolutely his. Have I offended you in some way? If not, could you point that thing somewhere else, please? Like that is the most like dry K2SO statement, like right off the bat. Like you could see how he already is who he's gonna be. It's great. That's awesome. All right, prediction. One prediction for episodes 10 through 12. Besides the obvious, like, I don't know.
It's been hinted, but the planet Edu was mentioned. I feel we might have a secret cameo from Galen Merrick. Not Galen Merrick. Galen Urso, not Merrick.
The other
Wait, is this
Galen.
Force Unleashed?
Yeah.
Yeah, so Galen
Interesting.
Urso. I feel like we're gonna get a cameo from him.
That's a big actor to sneak
Talking
in
to
there.
Krennic.
Okay.
Because they brought up Edu, not by Krennic himself, because he wasn't even in this arc, but it was mentioned, and I feel like this is going to happen because we're leading towards the Death Star. That's why they wanted Gorman. I feel like the rocks that they want were actually kyber crystals deep in the earth. So,
Yeah.
and then the other prediction would be is, well, it's not really a prediction. It's already been teased, but Saw will be on Jeddah doing something crazy.
He does end up on Jeddah, doesn't he? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So I already kind of I like that. I already kind of did my prediction, but I predict that like I think they're gonna find out. Dedra is gonna find out that Andor, like she's gonna see recordings or something that Cassian Andor was there, and I feel like she is going to blame him. This is a very specific prediction, but I feel like the Cassian Dedra protagonist antagonist situation is going to come to a head, and Bix is going to be involved somehow. Like she's going to find Bix and blame Cass for Cyril's death and do like a Game of Thrones thing where she like kills Bix in front of Cassian or something. I feel like something horrific is going to happen to push Cassian to the mostly heartless guy that he is, like rebel that he becomes for Rogue One. Like I don't think in Rogue One Bix is still out there somewhere. I don't think that. So I think something bad has to happen with Bix in the last 3 episodes. I'm not happy about it. I just think that that's what has to happen. All right, we got to log these predictions in. We'll lock them in. All right, but yeah, we locked it in. Lock in. All right. Speaking of locking in, we got to focus on trivia now because it's time for the trivia challenge. So there will be one question about the 3 episodes of Andor that we just discussed, the ones that just came out last night. So without further ado, hit us with it. See if I can get it.
Okay. It was kind of tough. I went with the most absurd thing ever. Just because I feel like because it was maybe small detail, maybe not a lot of people picked up on it, but we'll find out. The question is, Cassian was supposed to be a journalist from A, the HoloNet News Network, B, Newsnet, C, Mid-Rim Network, or D, Galaxy Beacon.
I am one of those people who watches with subtitles, so this actually is visually burned into my brain that I do remember this. So I'll give any commenters, if you want to throw them in the comments, I'll give you a second to get your guesses in, but I actually know the answer. I'm going to say it in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It is C, Mid-Rim Network.
Yes, it is. It is Mid-Rim Network. I thought it was just the most obscure detail right there to go for this.
Yeah, it was just it's Mid-Rim Network. That must be a huge network. Like the whole Mid-Rim has one news network.
Possibly. I mean, yes, although it's kind of funny, everyone's like, I've never heard of it.
Yeah, that was funny too. And Cassian's just the acting of both Diego Luna and the acting of Cassian as a character. I was just so impressed in that moment. Like Cassian totally seemed like this rundown, burnt out reporter that he found out that he didn't have a bay to like do his work in. He was just like this trip sucks. Like, never mind all of the stress of the rebellion and everything that's going on and all the other things. He's like he's like using that to fuel this cover of like this exhausted reporter that was just on Gorman and saw that and then had to come here and do his thing. Like, it was just so good. Yeah. So that's excellent craftsmanship in his acting.
I mean, he did it on Gorman and Coruscant, and no one still was like, okay.
Yeah, like when did he learn to do that? Was that part of the training that we didn't see between season 1 and season 2? Like, he's obviously a veteran rebel asset in season 2. So was that part of his training, like acting different characters, like memorizing all these details? I love that he had a little tape in his ear that he was memorizing all his stuff.
I know. I was like, I don't think I could do this because how long does the earpiece last? Is it like on a loop until you actually memorize it, or is it a one and done, get all the information now?
Oh, it better not be a one and done, because if so, it's not.
Yeah.
Not
like
happening.
I wouldn't be able to. Yeah. I was like, well, I forgot half my lines.
Yep.
So
I feel like it would also be easier if I was the one making it up and then like sending it up for approval, and then they'll tweak it if they have to. But like if I create it on my own in my own brain, it'll be easier for me to memorize it.
Right.
All right. So episodes 7 to 9 of Andor season 2 complete. We got one more arc. We will hit that next week. But for now, that's our show. We hope you enjoy what we're doing here. We know Star Wars fandom and comment sections can sometimes get dark, a little toxic, but it doesn't have to be that way. We are trying to bring fun and positivity to the Star Wars side of the internet. Remember, there are more of us. Again, if you have anything for us, questions, requests, suggestions for segments, anything at all, throw them in the comments and we will see what we can do. Don't forget to follow us at SW Culture Live and follow our personals, our other accounts. I am at Nerdiest Stepdad, basically everywhere. He is at Marty21794 or his name on Facebook. Don't forget, he's now on TikTok. He's back on TikTok doing Yoda impressions. And we will see you next week to celebrate the best of Star Wars culture and look at the finale of Andor Season 2. So, have a good night, and may the Force